Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking on PKA level 80 to 99 with no new batch characters, as well as trying to get it done with the most amount of rewards, but with the least amount of effort. Now, in today's video, I am kind of using like a no-stall team for level 80 to 99. We're not using a Jinbei as a friend captain. We're utilizing our own Ace Yamato with a friend captain Ace. With the combination of the two characters, you can actually get a lot of cooldown, as well as special bind removal and special reverse removal and a lot of fun stuff there. As for the mini bosses, as I mentioned in my auto strat video, I'm just basically auto farming the lower levels. And the lower levels, you just want to bring as many boosted characters as you have. If you can find a Jinbei friend captain, I would actually recommend utilizing a Jinbei friend captain here, because on the final stage, like, you can bring a Jinbei friend, but having that reliability of finding Jinbeis all the time can be a little bit challenging. As for me, I'm finding about 400 right now, so let's grab this guy's Jinbei. Let's dive on in for the mini boss run, and then we can just hit the auto button. Both Jinbei and Boa actually buff each other. It's very interesting. Boa has a rainbow buff in her captain ability, where Jinbei does buff free spirit characters, so that's always fun. I'm pretty sure he buffs free spirit characters. I think he's a free spirit powerhouse, so he should buff free spirit characters. So just hit the auto button. I know the Hime totals are going to be a headache to grind, and I know a lot of people are going to get frustrated once again because they can't get all the Hime totals for the Chopper Man missions. But look, I'm in the same boat. Like, we're all in it together. Hopefully they hear us. Hopefully they do something about it, because just making one guaranteed Hime drop at level 150 would just solve literally every single problem that is right in our faces with PKA. So as you can see, no issues with the farm. I actually forgot to change Luffy, because now I'm not using this team on the final boss. I could bring in something like Mihawk just to get more drops, and that would just work out really, really nicely. If you want to make this faster, like, you don't have to hit auto, like, you can just play. That's definitely going to make things a little bit quicker, especially for stages like this where there's resilience, and then you don't have to worry about like sitting through every single tap. But it depends on what you're doing. Like, this is great to do when you're like cooking dinner or walking the dog, I don't know, feeding your goldfish, anything like that. It works out quite nicely. So speed our way here to the end. Once you get to level 100, obviously you'll be able to fight both the mini bosses, so that is going to give you a lot more drops, which is great. But until that particular point, you're pretty much stuck with just one, unless you sort of stay on 20, 40, 60, or 80. That also works too. But at the end of the day, that's kind of the mini boss team. It should work out pretty nicely for the runs. You can run EXP teams if you want to get more EXP. Momo's great here. Roger's great here. So is actually Marco. Marco's pretty good too. So you can actually use Marco quite well with his auto proc. As you can see, you get a bunch of drops. You might pick up a Hime total. You might not pick up a Hime total. Look, it is what it is. I wish those Hime totals counted towards the rewards, but they don't. So let's make our way to the final fight. If you can pick up the PvP fight, I would highly recommend doing so. That's going to help you out quite a lot, as you will need to do a whole bunch of PvP fights as part of your Chopper Man missions. And that one's pretty easy. You just need to do, I think they reduced it actually. I think you only need to do like 15 fights. Whatever your teams look like, whichever ones you want to use, go for gold. Fight the easy one if you're struggling with the harder ones, because remember, this harder fight will scale with your statues. It will scale with the level of the final boss. So once you do hit level 150, this PvP fight can have some pretty chunky stats, and can actually hit you fairly hard. So just be very mindful of that if you guys are hitting the PvP fight. But hopefully you guys aren't having too much trouble. Let me know what you guys think of PKA in the comment section below as well, because look, PKA at the moment, it's in a really bad spot. I was always like on and hot and cold with PKA. At the beginning, I wasn't for it. Then as time went on, I was really enjoying the team building aspect of building out level 150 teams for people and trying different characters and moving away from a boosted meta. But then they brought in this Hime total stuff, and now it's just become like a race to 150, trying to get a team that has extra drop capabilities, so that way if you do get that Covenant Hime total drop, you can actually duplicate it as many times as possible. But look, even if you have the boosted units, last season I had a lot of boosted characters, and I still didn't make it to the Hime totals. I was doing my runs every day, I was dropping meats every day, and still didn't even get close to that Covenant 30 or 20 Hime totals, or whatever the hell you need to get. So let me know down below if you guys did get that as well, if you guys are one of the lucky few that did get those Hime totals, or if you guys are leveling up the mini bosses and you're finding the Hime total drop has drastically increased over there, on the mini-boss characters as well, please let me know in the comment section below, because we want to try and get as much information as possible, so that way we can start putting together the best way to play PK, the most effective way, and the most efficient way. So let's get to this final boss fight here against Aames now. Against Aames, obviously they want you to use Giampier. I am upwards of level 92, so we're getting closer to level 100, level 150. I did fail a couple runs when I was testing stuff, but the team that we're using today looks a little bit like this. We are utilizing a friend captain 10th anniversary Super Sugo Aames. The ship, it's not essential. You can pretty much bring any ship that you guys want. I would highly recommend bringing a high rush Aames, but look, it's not really going to matter too much. The rush is just going to help us bring our HP down. We have the 6+ Boa for an extra drop. We have Mihawk for the chance of an extra drop. And then the rest of the characters are Dex, Free Spirit, or Shooters, which works great for our friend Captain Aames to give us all those tasty cooldowns. So that was the team. That was the support. Let's dive on in. We do have one support. Nami's replaceable with anyone else that can remove 1 turn of damage reduction. You have a bunch of different characters like Mr. One, if you guys have the support rare recruit. You also have characters like Rush Sanji. He can actually go on Robin and Jinbei as well. He's going to remove damage reduction on the final stage too. So you guys have a few options if you don't have that rare recruit Nami. But I figured that rare recruit Nami was probably the easiest to acquire out of all of them, being like a 10th anniversary rare recruit, which everyone would have been summoning on. So I figured a lot of people would have picked up their Nami, probably a lot of copies, so you have the support level leveled up a little bit as well. On stage 3, we come up against Linaru and Ganru, I believe their names are. They have 6 turns of damage reduction, and they give us a bunch of special bind. With our Yamato Aames friend captain, our Yamato Aames captain, we get around the special bind, and then with the free-to-play Mihawk, we can get around the damage reduction. As you guys are noticing, I am actually switching with my Robin and Jinbei every single turn, but on this turn, we want to swap with Yamato and Aames. Yamato has damage reduction in her kit, because when they die, Linaru and Ganru, they hit you for like 30,000, so if you can mitigate some of that damage, it is going to help you out just a little bit. On stage 4, we come up against Skull and the other guy, I can't remember the other guy's name. And then 2 Lackey units. They have Intimidation, another 6 turns of damage reduction. You get an attack down if your chain is below 2, I believe. And then the back units have Resilience, which is a little bit annoying. We're going to switch with our Robin Jinbei like we have been every single turn. We're going to use our Boa special here. Boa is going to give us a nice heal. And then we can use the Sabo special to give us a chain boundary and remove that damage reduction. Both Sabo and our Yamato Aames are going to trigger the EX for our Aames, which works great. And then with that, we can basically take out this particular stage. You do want to sort of hit some perfects here, and you do want to get these characters on 1 HP. So make sure you are swapping when you do notice them get low. As you can see, when you hit perfects with Aames as a captain, that's why I switched back, you actually get a heal mechanic. Not that it matters too much, because Boa's heal is actually very, very strong, but that way we can actually just get our HP back to a nice chunky level. On the second turn, because we obviously didn't get through the resilience, we're going to take some paralysis. It's not a big problem, but we're going to use that extra turn for the extra super swap charge of Robin and Jinbei. Once we've done that, we can switch into our girl Yamato, use the Aames Yamato special. The damage from their special will kill the back units, and then we can move on to the final stage. The downside to this is that we are now going to lose the chain boundary ability. Boa gives us 4 turns of a chain buff, so like we're okay in that regard, but we do lose the chain boundary from Sabo because it's only 3 turns. I couldn't really find a way to extend it, but at the end of the day, it's not a real big issue. On the final stage, we're still going to have 1 turn of paralysis from Aames. He gives us special bind, which we can get around with Aames Yamato. He has 7 turns of damage reduction, 5 turns of threshold. Nami takes care of 1 of the turns of damage reduction for us. Plus, he gives you a whole board of recovery orbs, which you actually get more healing from. Now, this might sound like a good thing, but for this content, it's actually not. And the reason that it's not is because if you're above 60% of your HP, Aames is going to hit you for 100 times his attack. Now, that can't be mitigated. You can't use damage reduction or anything like that. It's a fixed number because it's based on his attack stat. You can lower his attack, obviously, but that's besides the point. However, if you're below 60% HP, you're actually going to get 100,000 damage. And the reason this is better is because you can actually mitigate that with damage reduction. So that extra turn of Super Sword charge we got for Robin Jinbei is going to come in clutch because now we have 70% damage reduction. Robin and Jinbei are going to remove the damage reduction and the threshold. And then we can use our Aames EX and special to give us an attack boost and a conditional buff. The reason we get a conditional buff because on this final stage, we actually get 3 turns of a very low orb boost. What we're now going to do here is we're going to use Aames' Rush to get our HP below 60%. So if you have a look at our HP now, as soon as you see the HP go down by about to 70,000, it's about 4 rushes from Aames if you have him level 5, probably 3 if you have him a little bit lower. Once you hit that threshold, you can stop the rush. That's going to bring your HP low enough to take the 100,000, and you're going to be pretty hunky-dory. So let's get this done. Utilize the rush. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, break it, and then hit. So we're at 40,000. We're going to get a heal back from Boa, bring us up a little bit, and then we're going to take the ace shot. And that's going to do 22,000 thanks to all of our damage reduction effects. Plenty of damage reduction there, so as you can see, it works out pretty nicely. So there you guys go. It's kind of a no-stall team. Gets it done pretty fast. That way you don't have to worry about taking the extra turns, worrying about swap charges, and all that fun stuff as well. Works out quite nicely for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit that bell notification if you want to stay up to date with more PKA content and other OPTC stuff. But most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's